Frank Warren, Anthony Joshua to bolt when Tyson Fury beats Deontay Wilder. I met Tyson Fury a few times on his way up, but the first time I really had any dealings with him was when he fought Dereck Chisora the first time. That was a nightmare for me as a promoter. Dereck came in overweight and he was dreadful. Tyson did what he had to in that fight, but I remember I quite took to him. I got on with him. I liked him from the off. What you see is what you get with Tyson. He was funny. We had to deal with typical McHenessy before the fight. They were trying to drum up attention for the fight and start arguments. I wasn't standing for that, but I remember speaking to Tyson for a while after the fight. I wished him the best because the best man won. We went our separate ways. Then he came with me for a while, got him a couple of fights and he fought Chisora again. To view this video please enable JavaScript, and consider upgrading to a web browser that supports HTML5 video. That was an eliminator to get him into the top spot to fight Vladimir Klitschko, and he done a job on Chisora. He was really good to work with. His problem then was his management weren't so good to work with. Tyson has matured since those days. It's no secret the problems he's had, but he seems a better person for everything that's happened to him. We've been talking for a while back and forth before we officially announced our partnership last April. I was checking in with a few texts, hoping he was alright. I knew he was having all these problems with UK anti-doping, he was banned, and I was wondering why it was taking so long to resolve. It was ridiculous what happened to him. It was 2 years before he got his case heard. I couldn't understand that. So we talked about that, but also just little things too. Then suddenly I got a phone call from him, we got together and done a deal. It was quick, to be honest, we shook hands and it was done. Our initial plan was nowhere near how it's turned it. It was basically have 3 or 4 fights before a possible title fight. Tyson though was feeling good and looked good. The opportunity came up and he grabbed it. I couldn't stop him. Akali reveals how sparring with Fury dramatically changed his mind about Wilder fight. Joe Joyce breaks down sparring with Tyson Fury compared to Anthony Joshua video. Tyson Fury strips off as face-off with Deontay Wilder descends into chaos. Tyson Fury reveals what happened when Deontay Wilder sparred with Vladimir Klitschko. He said originally he wanted to fight for a world title within a year. It will be just 5 months on Saturday since he made his comeback in June. Obviously, he changed his mind. It's a funny thing, with all his problems, it seems boxing has been his savior. It's given him direction and motivation. Wanting to regain his titles and fight the best has got the best out of him. The condition he's in, I think he's in better condition now than when he fought Klitschko. That's remarkable. The thing about Tyson is he's got no miles on the clock. He's not been in any wars as a fighter. He's a well-preserved 30-year-old, and 30 is pretty young for a heavyweight. And people forget, he had one fight in 2015 before he fought Klitschko. For so many fighters, but Tyson especially, it's the mental side of things. If that's good then the rest follows suit. That's why I've not had any doubts about Tyson in the last 12 months. The first 2 fights, let's be honest, he was training to make the weight, not to fight. The first opponent was a disappointment from my point of view. Fury folded, he didn't want to know, and Tyson didn't get the rounds I wanted for him. I never doubted his commitment, he's single-minded in that. To view this video please enable JavaScript, and consider upgrading to a web browser that supports HTML5 video. He knows what he wants, and he's not an idiot because he knows what he's got to do to achieve it. I was always convinced he could get back to where he was. I thought it might take longer, but having said that you have to look at who the 2 heavyweight champions are, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. It's my take that the Tyson Fury that beat Klitschko would beat both those champions. Can he get back to that? Even if he gets back to 80 or 90%, I'd back him to beat Wilder and Joshua. Tyson has always been strong on the mental side of boxing, but his mental desire heading into this fight is stronger than ever. He's a student of the game and a clever fighter. He's one of those fighters that can adapt. He can fight southpaw or orthodox, on the offensive or defensive. He's got lots of different game plans, and in a fight he can bring them into play when he needs to. That's what makes him stand out against these champions. Joshua and Wilder do the same thing every fight. Joshua has got the same predictable pattern of how he fights, as has Wilder, in the way he's unpredictably predictable. He'll throw these shots from out of the blue from awkward angles, but if you keep him on the back foot then you can beat him. If Tyson can keep him on the end of a real strong jab, then Wilder will get discouraged. Freddie Roach reveals his prediction for Deontay Wilder vs Tyson Fury video. I poke from Wilder sparks melee with Tyson Fury during face-off matchroom, and Eddie Hearn didn't want Joshua to fight Wilder. We all know that. If Tyson beats Wilder, they certainly won't want to fight Tyson. Barry Hearn has said himself Joshua is a long-term project and he doesn't care if Joshua never fights Wilder or Fury. That tells you where they're at. They don't have any intention of fighting Wilder at Wembley in April. Providing Dillian Whyte beats Chisora, that's who Joshua will fight next. They're talking about Alexander Usyk. He's not even a heavyweight. Eddie Hearn has got a promotional contract with him, that's why he's getting a look in. Whether Joshua actually wants it, I don't know. Usyk is a great fighter, but he's not exactly big, is he? More, Freddie Roach reveals his prediction for Deontay Wilder vs Tyson Fury.